Welcome to Bürkert Bytes. My name is Chris Hoey. Digitisation is drastically transforming the automation world, as well as creating a lot of opportunity. In this series of videos, we take you through the best practice for digital connectivity in process automation. We hope you enjoy. Welcome to the Digital Connectivity series, where we're going to have a quick talk about safety. Safety, as you know, is all about protecting humans and in the workplace. It's been widely used in factory automation for a number of years, and now it's coming more and more into the process field as well. One thing I will say about safety is that to implement a safety system, we talk about safety integration levels, and doing this is not just about buying safety products. You have to actually be trained in safety or use an external consultant, which we would recommend you do. But we do think about safety a lot of the time and say we do this alongside our automation systems, and we do it with hardwired systems because that's what safety's always been about. But Bürkert's had a couple of innovations over the years where we've been able to integrate safety directly into digital connectivity. One of the biggest ones has been this little pilot valve here, where you'll notice that it has a secondary connection to the front of the valve. What this enables is us to electrically override this valve, which may be connected in a network that is on Modbus TCP in this instance, but it could be EtherCAT, could be Profinet, could be Ethernet IP. But the safety relay can override it electrically and take control and put it into a safe situation. So in other words, we can have a completely digital connection system, a digital connected system, and yet have that ability for a safety relay to override. So we've got a couple of examples here that we'd like to showcase. One is the integration into a basic safety system where we're protecting, our example here is some moving machinery. So what we've showcasing here is the same technology that I showed here, but in our 8652. This one goes a little bit further, where we can have integrated isolators mounted directly on the valve. So this single slice here is a dual 3-2, so controlling two valves in the field, and you can control each of those individually with a safety relay. And as you see, all the different safety devices there. You'll also note no manual override on safety devices. Also in this series, we can override whole modules of 4. So in other words, we can say this whole series of 4 valves here, we can put into a safe mode with this device on the top. So whilst, if I reset this, this is operating in a cyclic fashion, opening and closing, and yet at any stage I can override that. So as an example that we're showcasing here is we have a safety light curtain protecting potentially from moving machinery, in which case I have a couple of butterfly valves which would surely give you a very sore finger if we were able to poke it in there. But as those valves are operating, at any stage that the valves are moving now, I enter that, you can hear immediately as I enter, the safety relay takes over and isolates that entire valve bank and puts it into safe mode. So now I can do whatever, touch and put my hands anywhere, and that's the simplicity of the system. Of course, I can reset it and it goes back to operation and moving parts again. Can also operate with a emergency stop. So this is multi-channels coming into a standard safety relay, which is from a third party, and you can, you choose any vendor to supply those relays. Okay, if you have an even higher safety level, then you may want to go to SIL level 3, where you need to not only electrically override, but also have a dual pneumatic override as well. So what we're showcasing here is the little valve I showed you earlier, where we're isolating this with a safety relay. But in this instance, what we have is the valve here is a diaphragm valve, which we, for all intents and purposes, is maybe running hot caustic wash into a vessel. So that vessel, of course, has a manhole, which we've simulated here, and this manhole has a safety switch on it. Of course, if you open the manhole while there's hot caustic being used inside the vessel, it could be very, very dangerous. So what we've simulated here is that a SIL level 3 system to make sure that cannot happen. So in the event of a break, the safety relay will sense that break and, of course, as I mentioned before, isolate the valve. That's the first level. However, the pneumatics from this go then to a secondary valve, which also connects to a second channel on the safety relay. And this is another device called the MKRS from Bürkert, where we can not only do the secondary valve control with the override as well, but also we monitor for pressure upstream, downstream, and also process pressure. So it gives us the ability to double isolate the electrically and also double isolate pneumatically. So with the right integration and the application of the rest of the data that goes with the process, as I said, please use a safety professional to implement this system, but it can be certified right up to SIL level 3. So just to demonstrate this, the valve is open now, so it's running the hot caustic. In the event I open this trap door, you'll see the valve immediately closes. And it's not only isolated it here, but it's also isolated it a second time there. And can be reset and turns straight back on again. Okay, so not a lot of technology here, but you can see how we can integrate safety into digital connectivity. So you can still run networks with Modbus TCP, Ethernet, IP, EtherCAT, Profinet, whatever, and still have safety overrides when it comes to the process valves and the like. So thank you very much and hope you enjoyed.